This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in New York, introducing a brand that is stripping away the artificiality of the modern bar scene. In a market flooded with sugary mixers and mass-produced canned cocktails, I mean, this one name is standing out, really by returning to a philosophy of pure high-performance indulgence. I'm joined here with the founders of Mother's Milk, Kristie, Jennifer. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having us.
Let's go ahead and start off with Kristie. You are an Emmy-nominated and award-winning multimedia artist. You're born and raised in New York. Before working as a freelance animator, you spent your time bartending. Was a cocktail creation of your own ever brewing in your mind while you served other people, would you say?
Mostly for myself. It was always, what am I going to drink after my shift? And I worked at a tiki bar, so it was all sugary drinks, all super sweet, fruity drinks, and I just could not drink that for another second. So I would just go straight to something light and refreshing, but does the job after a long shift. So it was mainly for me.
Like many entrepreneurs, it starts out as something personal just for yourself. Before you know it, you realize, hey, my friends like this. Jennifer, you are a proud Puerto Rican born and raised in Lower Manhattan. You are a graduate of CUNY Hunter College. You've spent much of your early career in really hospitality. Did a party lifestyle kind of really build the base for your entrepreneurial vision?
I want to say yes and no. Yes, because I didn't necessarily have a plan to start a business or be an entrepreneur. I always say that this business and this entire concept came to us. But I would probably say that just my excitement for alcohol definitely played a role into this journey. And one of the things that started to happen for me was the older I got, the harder the hangovers were hitting. And so we were chugging coconut water for our hangovers. So then we started to mix it into our cocktail program. And that was the birthplace of Mother's Milk.
That is a great story. I mean, I love it, really. Your taste buds led the way, and obviously the lack of a hangover was important. Kristie, the name Mother's Milk. I mean, it's kind of provocative and it's deeply symbolic of primal nourishment. In an
Yes.
industry dominated by aggressive, neon colored marketing, why did you choose a name that really points back to the very first source of human life?
I love how you frame that question. It's definitely a head turner. We get a lot of response to our name. But again, like Jen said, the name came to us organically. When we were sipping our homemade recipe, I turned to her. She told me, "It's giving me life. It's giving me life." And I was like, "Honey, it's mother's milk." Because she kept saying it's giving me life. It's so coconut water is so good for you, like mother's milk, that it just really made perfect sense naming it mother's milk. And also, like you said, it's nourishing in itself, spiritually and, physically. So I think it really suits what the product is.
Life in a can, it gave it to you. I mean,
Exactly.
it's a name that proclaims purity of ingredients, really. Jennifer, for the consumer who has maybe grown up on these high fructose, corn syrup, artificial dyes, tiki bars that are super sweet, was there maybe a hidden element of traditional beverages that you are most proud of to maybe eliminated from your formula? What do you think is missing, but you did it on intentional purposes?
Well, we got rid of all of the fake preservatives, all of the artificial flavorings. We got rid of all of the junk that really exists in all of those cans, including the fact that majority of the first canned cocktails in the market were malt based. So we are true spirited. We're 9% ABV vodka. And don't play with her is what I always say after I drop the 9% because she definitely is meant to be a true cocktail in a can. But I really do think that intentionally we wanted something crisp, clean, and simple. So we eliminated as much as humanly possible with still keeping a really strong taste profile.
I always say it's just as important what you put in as what you leave out.
Yeah.
Kristie, you say real ingredients for real people. I mean, while you were in the R&D phase, were there any ingredients maybe that were hard to source? And was the process of getting your vision into a can kind of challenging?
Absolutely. I think because we wanted to create something that was as clean and natural as possible, that definitely came with a challenge because it's in a can, right? So we want to let make it last and keep it fresh. We source our coconut water from the Philippines intentionally. I'm Filipino. Jen is Filipino by association. So it really stay and Puerto Rican. So coconuts and coconut water really is integral to our culture and roots. And yeah, so trying to get the coconut water right. Definitely wanted to stay away from the artificial fake coconut taste and flavor that you see in a lot of canned drinks.
I mean,
Um,
as I look at the can here, I'm reading this here and I'm seeing that it seems that a major part of your mission really is transparency. In an
Yes,
age of
100%.
proprietary blends where companies hide their ratios, did you kind of decide to be kind of open with your customers? And has that transparency kind of built a different kind of brand loyalty, would you say?
Yes, so we believe in label transparency. That's actually something that we're really trying to change within the industry, particularly in alcohol. It's not FDA regulated. It's regulated by an entire different organization. So the threshold and the expectations are just very different. And it's actually encouraged to say less on a can and mention less about your ingredients to help promote sales versus in the organic space, in the world that is FDA regulation, you have to disclose more. In alcohol, that just does not exist. So we're out here really actually actively trying to promote label transparency by putting as much as humanly possible on our actual can for you to see.
yeah, and to
I
add
mean,
on to that, when we were creating the can, we would be like, I would grab a product, and first thing I would read are its ingredients and calories and sugar content. So those are the things I would look for in a can. And like Jen said, most of the canned cocktails don't disclose that information. So then I would be skeptical and not buy it.
Yep.
excellent. Speaking of organic, I mean, Kristie, this goes beyond what goes into the can, but there's a question of how it even gets in there. Is your commitment to sustainable sourcing kind of part of your philosophy that requires a respect for Mother Earth as well?
Absolutely. That's just our whole brand. Our brand, we call our community Mother Nature's Fan Club, and we try to be as clean and sustainable as possible from our branding, our packaging to our activations out in real life. We're throwing a clothing swap in the park next month for Earth Day. So that's definitely it built into our brand.
Yep, it makes sense. It goes perfect with your brand. Jennifer, let's touch on why it makes us feel invigorated, energized, and really alive. Like actual mother's milk. This is actually good for you. I mean, is it the natural nutrients, the antioxidants that really provides these hydration benefits? Tell us about that.
Yes. So, naturally occurring in coconut water is hydration, electrolytes, antioxidants, vitamins that all naturally occurs in coconut water. And so we're just a better for you canned alcoholic better beverage product. We never promise that you're not going to be hungover. We never promise that you're gonna like suddenly have this insane boost of electrolytes. But what we can tell you is that we feel much better after drinking it in comparison to some of the other junk that we've seen and experienced out on the shelves. And so, from real life experience, we intentionally set out to make sure that by keeping it super simple and clean, you'll actually get the benefits of the coconut water, which is the electrolytes.
I have a feeling this product is well tested by the two of you, and you enjoy the process. I mean, Kristie, intentional healthy ingredients obviously are included, but honestly, I mean, this packs quite a party punch with coconut water, vodka, mint, shiso. This is alcohol at 9%. I mean, this is definitely buzzing out those typical 5% hard seltzers. Share with me a little bit of the feedback you've gotten from folks that have tried it.
Exactly. So first off, I'd like to start on how we landed at 9%. Kind of how we even built this business was out of the pandemic. I'm sure everyone remembers everyone had a canned drink in their fridge. Everyone was drinking a seltzer every day, no matter what time in the day it is, through the pandemic. And Jen and I were like, okay, we need to drink five or six just to feel any kind of buzz. And we couldn't do it anymore. It made us feel icky, made us feel bloated. Um, so these malt-based seltzer drinks, we just could not take. And we found that nothing that we wanted to drink existed in that world, in that space. So we created our own at-home recipe after the pandemic, and we found this is the one we wanted. We'd go out and this is all we wanted to drink, no matter where we were. And once we saw that seltzers and canned drinks were hitting all the bars where we were going in New York City, we were like, oh my God, like there has to be more people like us. So with the 9%, that being said, we wanted to basically feel good without drinking so much liquid, which is where the 9% comes in because it's like you can feel nice after drinking two cans, you
Yeah,
know?
we really identify as a true cocktail in a can, 9%. But to just comparatively speaking, we're more than your average seltzer, but we're just under a glass of wine, which is somewhere around 10 to 12%. And the average cocktail is around 20-ish percentile. So we're still in that lower ABV category, but you're going to feel a little bit something without having to pound 10 of them.
Uh, Definitely a tasty choice, but I would have to say with only two cans, that's an economical choice. I mean, honestly, that's what I look for when I'm going through. I'm literally looking at the 9%, 5%, 6%, and I don't want to deal with that because I might as well be drinking a soda if
Yeah.
that's the case. Okay. And so I'm going to go
Exactly.
ahead and grab something right off the shelf like that. Jennifer,
Exactly.
you're building a strong community really around the brand. As you advise your customers to listen to your mother, is sharing wellness, nature, and balance, as well as party tips, important to you and your brand?
Well, those are our four pillars, right? So we stand firmly, and everything that we try to do within the business land under one of our core pillars within the company. Yes, I think our entire model is balance, right? We were also kind of riding this sober curious craze that was going on, and what we actually realized is we didn't necessarily want to go sober. We didn't necessarily feel the urge to do it, but we just didn't like the options that existed.
You definitely have hit on something there. I mean, that balance is perfect. The last thing I want to ask both of you, and you can both answer one after the other, as you both look to the future and at the health and beverage trends of 2026, the beverage category is exploding, but it's competitive. Each one of you, real fast, what is your ultimate goal for Mother's Milk?
So I'll jump in and just say that like functional beverages are a massive trend right now. Asian inspired ingredients is a massive trend right now. RTD cocktails are the fastest growing category in alcohol. So we've got a lot going for us just based on, literally the data and statistics showcasing all of the fastest growing trends in beverage. But outside of that, we really want to build a community around our brand. It's not like the times 20 years ago where you can actually build an alcohol brand and not actually have a real authentic connection. And I think that that's the big changes that's just happening in CPG in the most general sense. There is an emotional connection to the product. There's an understanding and transparency of what you're actually putting inside of your body. And you're building a community around the lifestyle that is Mother's Milk. And so, as far as our goals are concerned, I hate to put it, but world domination.
I love it.
And until we are available nationwide across South and Central America, in Canada, and in Australia, I just will never be satisfied. So our goals are to really bring Mother's Milk to the world.
I mean, we're talking coconut cocktail in the can, but connection outside the can. I think that's a great philosophy right there. Go ahead, share with me your last statements on what your future goal is.
I think we're really trying to blend two worlds, wellness and party. And I feel like a lot of people think they have to choose, but our mission is to really promote balance. You can have both.
Excellent. I'm very happy to take a drink and I will let you know what I think. I'll go write a review for you and tell you what I think. Looking forward to it. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, you can learn more about why this has become really the go-to remedy drink for so many people. It's a strong cocktail that isn't too sweet. It's not super bubbly. It does not taste artificial. I mean, this is a drink that will make you feel good, honestly. For the wellness conscious who like to party, this one is packed with electrolytes. Once again, that is Mother's Milk, a coconut water cocktail, paradise wherever you are. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.